Boom! Salutations. This is for my Patreon people only. This is something I want to share with you, and it's just, it's too cool to not share this. And so there's only like 12 of us here still, so this is something that's going to just stay here definitely, because I was told to not talk about it technically publicly. So this is not that. There's only a few people here. We can keep our mouths sealed. But it's something that was told to me, and it really caught my attention when I was at Camp Disclosure. I spoke there with a lady by the name of Jessica Jones. And Jessica was a speaker, and we communicated a little bit before that, and super cool lady. She's part of the Enigma research group and also the North Georgia Cryptid Researchers. So she does a lot of field investigation, all right? A lot, and that's where it's at right there, especially concerning Sasquatch and other cryptids. They're going out there. They've got a lot of equipment, good, expensive equipment, but they've also are all trained remote viewers in various styles. So I think that's really cool. All right, now we got to talking and exchanging information and stories. She even went to each other's talks as well. Now, something that she had brought up is this thing here, and they haven't released this publicly yet, but she had told me, and they also mentioned it, her and a gentleman named Matthew Delph, who also spoke about Sasquatch, a separate presentation, but they're both part of this researchers organization, both mentioned it there. So a few people heard it, but it's not been made technically public yet. And this was something that involved what's called the Spearfinger Witch, something I wasn't particularly familiar with. And what that is a Cherokee legend of a woman who was a witch that was technically a skinwalker, and when she crossed over, she starts hunting babies and supposedly eats their livers and things like that nature, some sort of a cannibal. And it's a horrible story, more or less, and she harvests the organs of children especially. So that's this figure. Now, what was told to me in this situation is they had said that they had heard it when they're on this investigation in this active area, these horrible screams. All right, these horrible screams coming from the forest or whatever, and all they obviously I guess couldn't find it or go to it, but they did choose to remote view it, and they heard this repeatedly, this horrible screaming, and trying to figure out what this was. And what the remote viewers saw was a female Bigfoot, female Sasquatch, hiding her baby, like in various places, trying to hide her baby from this Spearfinger entity is hunting her child. And that's what this screaming is. And they're seeing this, and that's what she's doing, is trying to hide this baby. So in reference to that in the pictures, I put down what's called the Independence Bigfoot pictures, where it's carrying the baby, it's watching the people, then it goes and picks up the baby from the rocks and then takes off. Similar situation, I think, all right, as far as maybe stashing a child, or a child isn't where it's supposed to be, and the parent has to come get them. But she's trying to hide this baby from the Spearfinger entity. So this takes us into the realm of what are these cryptids, as far as from being from different densities, different dimensions, slightly out of phase. And then what was said to me is that while they're remote viewing the Spearfinger entity, it sees them. And, a lot of these entities and extraterrestrials know when they're being remote viewed. They're able to see the person doing it. And that's what happens there, to where this Spearfinger started noticing them, observing, all right, them, and then it distracted the Spearfinger, and the Sasquatch was able to run off with the child and disappear. And they're fast. So it makes sense to a certain degree. And I just thought that was an absolutely fascinating experience. The other one would be that they saw a black cube in the forest at one of these locations, and two of the people stepped into it. Jimmy Church knew about this, and on my interview with him, he wound up mentioning that, and I did too. So we both have talked to this paranormal group, but they're not releasing this stuff yet. All right, now anyway, so two of the people stepped into this black cube and disappeared from the thermos. But they experienced another terrain in there, then they backed up and stepped out of it and reappeared on the thermo. And when Jessica came to my presentation, when I got done, she wanted to ask more about the black cubes that I've described in several videos on this channel, on the YouTube channel anyway. Sorry, this one's not going to YouTube. I don't want to get in trouble. Anyway, but that's something she had, the black boxes I've seen. And I've given several different examples of what they are now. All right, and how they actually are a form that is bringing information from another universe, another dimension to this one, and what actually geometric shapes can do that. So that's a big one. All right. Anyway, that's just another thing she had mentioned. And the gentleman, Matthew Delph, not just did he talk about Sasquatch interacting with horses, which is another video I'm going to do. I've gotten more confirmation on that in Witch Dots. But he also had a video of what looked like a UFO coming down, shooting a type of a dimensional light, it looked like, and these grays running around. I mean, it was the best footage I've seen. And I guess there's people trying to get a hold of that, like you know, ABC or whoever, people like that, and they won't let it go. They won't part with it. I don't blame them. But I mean, they're out getting real evidence like some of these investigators are. And that's being in the field, getting real evidence. And you know, as Jessica said, we're not just dealing with Bigfoot, we're dealing with all these cryptids that are on this dimensional, this different density level, this different dimensional level. They're interdimensional. And that's exactly what's going on. So I thought the thing with the Spearfinger and the Sasquatch, which is something you should hear. Since it's just here on Patreon, we're not going to spread this anywhere. Don't share this video. But I thought you deserve to know about it. I go to these conferences, and some of the intel I get is really cool. And that's one of them there. And it's something you probably won't hear anywhere else. So just something to contemplate, all right? And how many of these entities we hear about, these cryptids, are in the same zone that they're phasing in and out in these forests, and they're having some sort of a interdimensional war going on, or whatever it is. It's very fascinating food for thought. I appreciate you all here on Patreon. Thank you. I've been trying to make this video, many videos as I could. I was in the hospital just before that conference, actually getting put back together fully, because I'm fully healed, so it's great. I appreciate all of that's the reason why I kind of had backed off a little. I'll tell you that only, but I'm doing very well. I've got 100% fantastic health. I'm very blessed. They cured me in Australia, so that's something I'm blessed. Everyone that helped with that, including my partner, helped me save my life. Thank you. Anyway, thank you. Please stay with me here. I'll try to get some more stuff to you. Maybe do a live or something if anybody has interest in that here on Patreon only. Me doing a live, we can all maybe do a chat room. I've never done anything like that, but I want to make sure that you all are getting, you know, the good information that you should from me. Thank you. Please stay with me, and peace.